And we are live. Welcome back to Takes by Fans. We got a great show for you today. As always, we are live every single day at noon Eastern. If you want to watch live, head over to twitch.tv/takesbyfans. If you want to watch but not live, head over to our YouTube channel, Takes by Fans. We post all of our shows and clips of the show there on a daily basis. And if you just want to listen, we are on podcasting apps, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio. So however you want to watch or listen, we've got you covered in multiple ways. Alrighty, today's a big old Sunday, folks. The last Sunday for the next month, son, until February. The last Sunday that there is no football on, folks. Preseason, there is no preseason this weekend. We had the Hall of Fame game. We got the Hall of Fame ceremonies going on Friday, Saturday, and today. The speeches come out today. But next week, preseason game number one for all the teams, baby. We got 3 straight weeks of Sunday preseason games, and then we're heading right into that freaking lovely start of the NFL season. So this is the last Sunday, folks. I know it's been a while. It's been a road. It's been a long journey, but we've finally gotten here, and love it. Love it. But we still got some work to do, folks, so today on the show, we are going to be kind of continuing on with our NFL team refreshers, spin the wheel, see what team we get, and go over everything, what they did last season, what they've done this offseason in the draft, who do they get, who do they lose, and we'll walk through their schedule to see how many wins we give them. And we'll see, we may be able to squeeze in 2 teams today. Maybe. Potentially. We do like to go we do like to go long sometimes when we do our NFL team refresher, but we'll see what we get. We can definitely squeeze in 1, and we'll see if we get a second team. But let's just jump right into it with the stories of the day. And the first one up, wide receiver for the Bucs, Mike Evans says, quote, "This is the best receiver room I've been around, top to bottom." All right, now obviously this is an absolutely fantastic receiver room. We know this. We just talked about like Antonio Brown and this Bucs team being even better than what they were last year because they have Antonio Brown from the start, not 8 weeks into the season. So they're going to be all ready to go week 1 out of the gate. And that was kind of the only downfall of the Bucs last season was they got out to a little bit of a slow start. Did they lose their first 2 games? I know they lost their first game. Let's get this up really quickly. Just a little refresher. See what this Bucs did. They either, I want to say they lost both of their first 2 games. Let's see. Here we go. They lost week 1. All right, they ended up winning week 2, and then they ended up going 3 straight. They started the season 3-2. Not bad. All right, but I mean, starting 3-2 last season, they're about to start 5-0 this season just because they have it all right out of the gate. So nothing to kind of get. They're already familiar and comfortable with each other. There's no kind of learning process like last year for the Bucs at the start of the season, and they just have everybody ready to rock. But I do want to investigate Mike Evans' claim. I mean, we know this is the best receiver room that they've had. Obviously, Mike Evans, Antonio Brown, Chris Godwin, Scotty Miller, and then you've got three great tight ends here. I don't think I've ever seen tight end depth this deep in the NFL ever. We talk about running back depth with the Colts with 3, the Broncos trying to get 3. We'll see how that goes. The Ravens with 3 last year, but that's running backs. But I've never seen 3 deep tight ends like this. Rob Gronkowski, O.J. Howard, and Cameron Brate. Folks, they're hogging all the tight ends. Jeez. Rob Gronkowski, what did he do last year? 623 yards with 7 touchdowns. That's absolutely amazing. O.J. Howard, what did he do last season? 146 yards, 2 touchdowns, but he did not play in that many games. I think it was, how many games did he play in last season? Yeah, he played in 1, 2, 3, 4. He played in 4 games last season because of a little bit of an injury. But O.J. Howard should be back and fresh and ready to rock. And then we have Cameron Brate. How many yards and touchdowns did he have last season? 282 yards and 2 touchdowns. And he played in every single game last season, basically. Most of them. So it's just, these are great wide receivers. Hopefully they start expanding it a little bit more because literally all these tight ends really could be 1,000-yard receiving tight ends, honestly. So let's see if they open up it a little bit more for the tight ends, not just going to Gronk, spread the wealth a little bit. I mean, I would be running 3 tight end sets if I was this Bucs team. 3 tight ends. Let me get 2 wide receivers, and we're ready to rock. And running back, maybe. Who cares? Do we even need one at this point? We're throwing the ball. We got Tom Brady. No running backs allowed. And Tom Brady's just going to be putting up 8,000 yards by himself passing because they're not going to be having that running back there. So just absolute depth right here, folks. I mean, as far as pass catchers go, this Bucs team is absolutely stacked. But let's investigate this claim just a little bit, just to see. So let's go to Mike Evans' career stats and just see what other wide receiver rooms he's been a part of. There's really none that I could really think of. I don't even know who. I know he was working with Chris Godwin, I think, for a little bit. But I don't even know who his other number 2 was. Let's see what Mike Evans was working with here. And is this truly the best receiving room he's ever been with? So, all right, we've got, he's been in the league since 2014. So let's see what his rookie year receiver room was looking like. So we had, what do we got here? Mike Evans and Vincent Jackson. Vincent Jackson caught 1,000 yards that season with Josh McCown. Jeez, Josh McCown. Look at this man. Josh McCown had 2,000 yards passing, and each wide receiver had 1,000 yards receiving. That's fantastic. Vincent Jackson, great 6'5" wide receiver. Great longevity career, just absolutely fantastic. So that's a pretty solid receiver room right there, but it's not really that deep. And their tight end was Austin Seferian-Jenkins, who only caught for 221 yards. So could be a little bit better. This receiver room is definitely better than that one. Let's see what his second year in the league was like. That's 2014. Let's see 2015 Tampa Bay Bucs receivers. What do we got? Still got Mike Evans and Vincent Jackson. Vincent Jackson taking a little bit of a step back here with only 500 yards receiving. And then they had Brandon Myers and Luke Stalker at their tight end position. And Brandon Myers only caught for 127 yards. Not great. Jameis Winston's first year here with the Bucs, throwing for 4,000 yards. You love to see that. 22 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. Not the greatest right there. So yeah, this 2021 Bucs receiver room is better than that 2015 team. Let's check out 2016 now. Here we go. Mike Evans coming into his third year. It's Mike Evans, and that is it. They have Cameron Brate and, once again, Brandon Myers and Luke Stalker. Cameron Brate caught for 660 yards. Once again, what we say is very, very good in this league, and that's what we can expect. Rob Gronkowski had 600 last yards. Cameron Brate or O.J. Howard both can get 600 yards with Rob Gronkowski getting 600 as well. So we'll see how many tight ends they use, and hopefully they cycle through them because all those are just great tight ends really to have on the team. All right, what else we got with wide receivers here? Because they only listed Mike Evans as the starter. He's so good that he's the only starting tight end. Is that what you're telling me? What do we got? Can we see any other wide receivers? We got Cecil Shorts. Yikes. What did he have? What did he have in 2016? Cecil Shorts in 2016, 152 yards. Yeah, not what we are really looking for right there, truly. And we accidentally closed the tab. How unfortunate. How unfortunate. All right, so, I mean, we get the gist, right, folks? I mean, this is definitely their best receiver room that they've ever had. They're going to start with all these receivers right out of the gate. Antonio Brown is their third deep wide receiver, folks. And then you got Scotty Miller. I mean, absolutely fantastic. What was Scotty Miller's stat line last season? 500 yards, 3 touchdowns as the number 4 wide receiver. I'll take that all day. Absolutely. So Mike Evans, folks, they're big. I mean, he's big on this Bucs team. Obviously, he finally got a ring. He finally has a quarterback that's not turning the ball over as many times as he's throwing touchdowns. So, man, oh man, the Bucs, folks, watch out for the Bucs. They truly could go 17-0. Honestly, I don't know a team that could stop them. Maybe the Chiefs. Maybe the Packers. Maybe. That's really it. Are those the only 2 teams that could stop this Bucs team? Maybe the Ravens because of their defense, but maybe. We'll see what they do offensively. We know this Bucs team has a great defense as well, so if this Bucs team is just getting favorable matchups schedule-wise, they could be the first team to go 17-0, folks, in the first 17-game season. How crazy would that be? So, Mike Evans says this is the best wide receiver room he's been in, and we do agree. We do agree heavily. Alrighty, people got paid today in the NFL. The first one up, it's Darius Leonard. Oh my goodness, linebacker for the Colts here. Darius Leonard and the Colts have agreed on a 5-year, $99.25 million contract extension. He becomes the highest paid inside linebacker, and $52.5 million of his salary is guaranteed. Now, this man is absolutely a freak of a specimen at the linebacker position. Y'all know I like my linebackers fast, and he may be the fastest linebacker in the NFL, folks. So that's what we love about Darius Leonard. That's what we love about this Colts team. They got an absolutely great defense. They got an absolutely great offense. We gush about all their kind of pieces all over the field, and now they just officially got it done. Now, the only kind of real hesitancy here with Darius Leonard is that he's still a little banged up. He had a little bit of an ankle tweak in the offseason, and he's been sitting out of training camp for the first 2 weeks here. But, I mean, you don't sign this man. And it's just a small ankle thing. It's nothing big and serious. Not an ACL, not an MCL, not an Achilles, anything like that. Just a little bit of an ankle tweak. But, now that they signed him, I mean, it's pretty certain that he's going to be out there week 1. We were a little kind of watching this a little bit. Because we need Darius Leonard out there for this Colts team, for the defense just to be absolutely at its kind of peak of what it can do. So Darius Leonard getting this contract extension truly kind of tells us that this ankle injury isn't anything serious, which we didn't think it was, and that he will be starting week 1. This isn't going to be kind of a long injury, because you're not going to sign a player to a 5-year, $99 million contract if you don't think he's going to be able to play anytime soon. So Darius Leonard should be able to go week 1, which is probably great. Absolutely great, I should say. Not probably, it is. And that's great that he signed, and they've got him locked up for 5 years. So Darius Leonard and the Colts, folks. Man, oh man. Fantastic. Highest paid inside linebacker in the league. And who else got paid? Well, Xavier Howard did, folks. He is staying a Miami Dolphin. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. We all know he was holding out. He ended up showing up to training camp, but he was still unhappy with the team because he wanted to get repaid after he just got paid. And then he sent out that long tweet or Instagram message, whatever it was, that was like, I love the Dolphins, but I'm feeling disrespected, and I just want to get paid, and I'm here so I don't get fined and all that. But it worked out in his favor, and that's what we're saying, folks. We don't mind players doing this. We don't like it, obviously, because it's the team that we root for, so we don't want to see our best players leaving, but we always get behind the player here. Do what is best for you. If you feel like you deserve more money, then go out and kind of do the things that players that think they deserve money do, like hold out, like not show up, like kind of bring it to the front spotlight of the national media, so they can go on it and they can go and run with the story and have all the speculation and keep the Dolphins' name in the media circus, so it puts pressure on the front office and the coaches to go and get a deal done, a restructured contract done. I've got no problem with players doing that. Take control of your future. The owners, the front office, they will cut you with, if you do anything bad that hurts the brand. But if you're doing good and helping the team, they want to get you on the discount. So I've got no problem with players trying to get truly what they think they deserve. And that's exactly what Xavier Howard did, and it paid off. So the Dolphins agree to restructure cornerback Xavier Howard's contract. Now that is restructured, let's see what this new deal is. Did Xavier Howard get everything that he wanted? We've been hearing he wanted to be kind of paid the highest corner in the NFL. He wanted to be paid the highest corner on his own team, because we know Byron Jones was higher paid than Xavier Howard was, even though Xavier Howard was basically the number 1 corner in football last season. So let's see what we get here in this new restructured deal for Xavier Howard and the Dolphins. So here we go. Xavier Howard has resolved his contract dispute with the Miami Dolphins. The All-Pro cornerback and the club agreed on a reworked contract Sunday, NFL Network's Mike Garofalo reported. Howard, the NFL's interception leader in 2020, is staying in Miami after all. As part of Howard's new contract, the cornerback had $1 million in Pro Bowl incentives and $2.5 million in additional incentives added to his 2021 year. So there's a chance for him to go out and earn another $3.5 million a season. NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport reported, with all minicamp fines rescinded. How great is that? Do we remember? I think it was like 50,000. I think it was 50,000 every practice that you missed, and that was the same for Aaron Rodgers if he didn't show up. And I believe Xavier Howard missed like 1 or 2. So all those minicamp fines rescinded. Howard can make upwards of $16.285 million in 2021, which would make him the league's highest paid cornerback this upcoming season. So if he hits all those incentive targets, like he probably will, I can really foresee him getting the Pro Bowl incentives. I'm not sure. They don't really discuss and go into what the other $2.5 million in incentives are. I'm sure it's like interceptions and games played and snaps played and all that. But he has a chance to earn $16 million this season, and that would make him the highest paid corner this season. So, hey, that's what he wants. Fantastic. In addition, Howard gets $500,000 in per game roster bonuses and $100,000 in workout bonuses moved to base salary and guaranteed money in 2022. His $12.975 million salary in 2020 is guaranteed for injury and will be fully guaranteed by the first day of league year. Oh my goodness. Woof. All that, your full 2022 salary is fully guaranteed. That's fantastic. I'd be signing this deal as well. Jeez. What else do we get here? What do we got? Rappaport added that $6.7 million of the cornerback's 22 salary is fully guaranteed at signing. Man. Howard also received assurance from the club that it will renegotiate a new deal in late February or early March following the 2021 season, in line with market based on the cornerback's health and 2021 performance. So he's betting on himself a little bit. Hey, I think I'm going to go out there and get it done this year, and then we're going to head right back to the negotiation table right after this season is over, because I know I'm about to still be performing at this high level. So high risk, high reward here for Xavier Howard, because if he comes back out here and flounders or he gets a little bit injured, yes, it's all fully guaranteed for next season, but that new negotiated deal, it's probably not going to get done, and Xavier Howard's going to have to wait till the 2022 season to go out and get a new deal, because there was nothing on tape, and the Dolphins are not going to pay you if you're not putting anything out on tape. What have you done for us lately? So Xavier Howard is truly getting everything that he has wanted, so that is great. And the Dolphins signing and locking down this huge piece defensively here for the Dolphins defense, and this is what we wanted to see, just because this has kind of been a little bit of a revolving door for Brian Flores' defense here, and that's not really what we want to see. We know it kind of worked in New England. That was under Bill Belichick, but you also had Tom Brady as the quarterback. I like Tua, but I'm not going to, compare him to Tom Brady right now. That's just stupid to say. That's blasphemous to really even compare. So maybe Brian Flores was getting caught up a little bit too much in the Bill Belichick philosophy of never paying players, a revolving door, especially defensively, and just sticking kind of players in the scheme, in the fit of the team. So maybe Brian Flores was getting caught up in that. We heard the Kyle Van Noy. We talk about the Kyle Van Noy. You sign him, and then the very next season you get rid of him. And that's what Xavier Howard was kind of seeing. Hey, nobody's really kind of staying here long term. And even though they got signed, they were still kind of getting rid of them, even though they were still under contract. And that's why we were saying, Xavier Howard, do whatever the hell you want. We've got no problem with that, because of just how it is a business. So go out and get yours, whatever you think that is. Go out and try and get it. So Xavier Howard here again, and hopefully this Dolphins defense can just build on what they did last season, with everybody still truly, the key pieces truly still being here. So let's see how Brian Flores coaches this defense. Let's see how Xavier Howard handles now kind of all the pressure on him to truly go out and perform. So he got the money. Now he has to kind of go out and back it up once again this season. You can't be this one-and-done player. You can't be one and done and acting like you deserve all this money. No, you got to be great for 4+ seasons in a row, like, the greats do, like the Richard Sherman with the Legion of Boom, like Stephon Gilmore's currently in that kind of great 4-year stretch, like Jalen Ramsey is in this kind of 4-year greatness stretch right here. How long can they go? And is this a one-and-done season? I don't think I don't think it is for Xavier Howard, but only time will tell, and we'll keep an eye on him as the season progresses. But Darius Leonard and Xavier Howard both getting paid this today, so great for them. Alrighty, folks, let's talk about a quarterback here that we really have not talked about. We have not heard any real great things from Zach Wilson. We've heard some good things of Trevor Lawrence, not a lot, but some decent things. We've been hearing great things about Trey Lance. I mean, we've heard more great things about Trey Lance than we heard from Zach Wilson and Trevor Lawrence, and we've also heard a lot of great things from Justin Fields. So what is going on with Zach Wilson? Truly, what is going on with Trevor Lawrence as well, because he's in a quarterback competition with Gardner Minshew. So what the hell is that about? But truly, Zach Wilson, he is the only guy. There's no other quarterback on this team that should be playing right now. I mean, when we look at the Jets quarterback depth chart, it's Zach Wilson as a starter, obviously, and then it's James Morgan and Mike White and Josh Johnston. It's like none of those players will ever play in this league. So when it comes to Zach Wilson and the Jets, it's he better get it together because he's the week 1 starter instantly. You need to go out there and get it done. But we haven't been hearing anything great from him, about him, anything like that. We've seen no highlights of this man. We've been seeing highlights of Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields and Trey Lance and all that, even Jimmy Garoppolo. But we have not been seeing or hearing anything from Zach Wilson. But we get this right now, and this is not great, folks. Jets quarterback Zach Wilson struggles in a simulated game at MetLife Stadium. Coach Robert Saleh says Wilson had, quote, some good moments, and obviously he had some rookie moments. So he's not really progressing as well as maybe the Jets thought he would. The number 2 overall pick, high value there. You had, your cream of the crop. You just didn't have Trevor Lawrence to pick from. So you go with Zach Wilson over Trey Lance, who's already kind of showing that he could be the starter. Justin Fields, you chose Zach Wilson over Justin Fields, and Justin Fields is already kind of proving he could be the week 1 starter. So let's go into this article right here and see truly what the hell is going on here with Zach Wilson. Can we buy into the Jets team? We have not gotten to the Jets in our team refresher, but when we get there, we really can't put too much stake in Zach Wilson really doing anything meaningful this season. So let's see what we get here. Let's read through this, and hopefully maybe there's some good takeaways in this article of Zach Wilson, hopefully, because we've gotten no good takeaways at all from this man. And we're, heading into week 3 of training camp. That's never a great sign. So let's see what we get here. We're 5 weeks away from seeing how Jets rookie quarterback Zach Wilson will perform in a real NFL game. On Saturday night, he struggled in his first simulated NFL game at MetLife Stadium. Via Rich Cimini of ESPN.com, Wilson threw 2 interceptions and led the starting offense to only 3 points in 7 possessions against the starting defense. He completed 11 of 24 passes for 112 yards. Well, that's below 50% completion percentage, so that's trash, but he did average about 10 yards a pass, which isn't bad. That's kind of like the average standard you want to see. If you're making a pass, you better make sure it's like 10 yards. You cannot be, completing 20 passes for like 130 yards. I mean, that's absolutely trash. So Zach Wilson, not really great. 7 possessions and 3 points. Jeez. That's not going to win a game, folks. I'll tell you that. So that's not great here by Zach Wilson. This is going to be real interesting to see. Now I'm really excited to watch this man in the preseason so we can finally see what this man is truly capable of. But from this short little quip right here, this is not great for the man. So what else do we get here? So what did Wilson think of his showing? Quote, not great, Wilson said. I have high expectations for myself in this offense. I have led the guys, and I have to make better decisions. That's why this isn't game 1. That's why we're doing this. I understand that. Of course, I'm going to be frustrated with myself, but I'm going back to the film room and find out what I can learn. So obviously the right attitude to have, the right things to be said here. This is, not even a preseason game. This is a preseason game. I mean, this is to get me ready for the first preseason game. Just, the tempo, the fluidity, how it's ran, the timing, all that, getting up to the line, breaking my huddles, all that. So, we're not going to, totally flop on this man. We're not going to totally knock this man and, sell this man 100% just because he didn't do good in the preseason game. But it's still not a great look since we've been hearing some great things from some other quarterbacks. And we're going to see some other quarterbacks later in the show that are like, all right, they're ready to rock right now. So let's quickly go to this Jets depth chart because we know they don't have the most A1 tier 1 pieces. They did pick up Corey Davis in the offseason, and he is absolutely magnificent. We are big on Corey Davis. 984 yards last season with the Titans, and he's 6'3", which, gives any quarterback that extra just kind of, go up and get it. Usually corners are like 5'10" to 6'1", and if you're 6'3", you just have that instant win because of the height matchup. So you give your quarterback just a little bit more freedom and how he can throw the ball. Hey, I can throw it a little bit higher. I can, be a little bit riskier down the field because I can trust my receiver to go up and get it. So I can, throw it a little bit higher down the field. And there's really no chance that an interception or a pass breakup, it either falls incomplete because I threw it too high, or the receiver goes up and makes a magnificent catch and we're 25, 30 yards down the field on the first down. Fantastic. So Zach Wilson does have some solid pieces to go to. Corey Davis, obviously. Jamison Crowder, he's all right. He caught, 700 yards last season. He's only 5'9", though, so he's not really helping you out too much. They got Keelan Cole. What is he looking like? 600 yards last season, 6'1", real solid Jaguars last season. So he's got an A1 wide receiver, but that's only one, and he's really going to be covered by the A1 corner on the opposing team. What do we got tight end-wise? We got Chris Herndon. Chris Herndon. What do we got here? 6'4". He only caught 287 yards. I don't think he went to tight end university. I'm almost certain this man did not go to tight end university this season, and that's never great. We hold big stock in tight end university. If you did not get invited there, you're missing out on a ton of knowledge. So let's quickly scroll through the list of who attended tight end university, and I do not believe... Let me get the name here. Chris Herndon was on this invitee list. Here we go. We're scrolling. Chris Herndon, where art thou? I don't think any Jets tight end guy here. Oh, no, he did. All right. Chris Herndon did get to tight end university, so we can buy the tight end a little bit more. That's great. That's actually a huge, great sign here. Hopefully he learned a lot, and, only time will tell when we can watch this man out on the field. And hopefully Zach Wilson is trying to go down to... trying to kind of get Chris Herndon the ball a little bit more out there. This is kind of the new passing in the league, folks. This emergence of tight ends catching 1,000-yard receiving seasons. That is no longer out of the realm of possibilities. Before... I would probably say since like 2015 on, it's maybe even 2016 on, the tight end position has started to really blossom. But before kind of 2015, 2016, like being great at the tight end was like catching 500 yards, 600 yards. Like that was really impressive. But now we're shifting that narrative because we just saw Travis Kelce catch 1,400 yards. It's absolutely fantastic. I think Darren Waller had 1,000 yards as well. So this is kind of the new standard. We can't be having, tight ends catch 200, 300, 400 yards anymore. That's not getting it done. So let's see if Chris Herndon can get the job done, and if Zach Wilson acknowledges Chris Herndon and what he's learned from tight end university, and hopefully the offensive coordinator and Robert Saleh are working together to go out and make these tight ends lethal weapons. And once again, that's just going to open up the entire passing game, making it easier for Corey Davis, making it easier for the running game. Now, let's talk about the running game now. They have a rookie running back in Michael Carter. I'm not the biggest believer in him, but we'll see what he can do. And then they got Tevin Coleman as the backup. What did he rush for? Only 53 yards last season. I'm assuming he didn't really play any games last year. So they don't really have these great pieces, and they would need Zach Wilson to really kind of elevate everybody else around him. And that's really hard for a rookie to come out and do year one. So nothing is truly looking great here for this Jets team, especially now that you have, rookie head coach Robert Saleh on top of it all. So it's going to be real hard to really see how many wins this Jets team could truly get this year, since everything has just been not really coming together as well as I'm sure Robert Saleh would have liked it. But let's get back into this article right here and finish it up. First year coach Robert Saleh had a better assessment of Wilson's first practice without offensive coordinator Mike LaFleur just a few feet away. Quote, there was no one to turn to for him to talk to have that experience, and to have to be able to go through it all. These moments are priceless for him. He had some good moments, and obviously he had some rookie moments. So once again, just that overall, getting the overall field of a simulated game. So when he goes into preseason, he's not lost. And when he's ready for week one, for that first week one game where all the fans are in the stands and everything matters now. Stats matter. Winning matters. Losing freaking kills you. It crushes you. You've been building months on end end, putting in the work, blood, sweat, and tears, the grind on the field. And when you start losing, the locker room will start to turn. Yes, week 1, it's like, all right, we've got week 2, let's brush it off. But once we're talking about week 9, 10, and you only have 2 or 3 wins, and the season's already over, and there's no way you can mathematically make the playoffs, then it just goes worse and worse and worse from there. So you really have to start winning right out of the gate, or being competitive right out of the gate, before you start losing some of these kind of pieces. And the first pieces to go are really defense, because they're like, we're doing our part. The offense isn't putting up points. We just saw that with the Bears kind of the last 2 years, with Mitch Trubisky truly not getting it done, winning the games. Hopefully Zach Wilson does a little bit better than that, but it's really hard to kind of tell with all this really non-greatness over here with the Jets. Let's continue. Here we go. A crowd of nearly 20,000 at MetLife Stadium showed patience with Wilson. There was no booing. That's great. You don't want, your fans booing the starter, the face of the franchise. That's just going to get in his head. So that's great by the fans there. Love that. Quote by Wilson: "It's all part of the process. We're all learning. I've got to make better some decisions, but I know I can learn from all those. This is the reason we do this sort of thing." So once again, they're not panicking. They know this is kind of the natural progression, and they're all still trying to buy in here. So the Jets' future franchise quarterback has 5 weeks to learn what he can before that's a typo. Before the Jets play their first game that counts against former Jets future franchise quarterback Sam Darnold. Do they really have the Panthers week 1? Is that true? That is kind of I kind of love that, because I want to see Sam Darnold lose. I kind of want to see the Panthers be trashed this season, and it's no disrespect to the Panthers fans or really the Panthers players. The only person I really have beef with is Matt Rule, because we were kind of buying into Teddy Bridgewater last season. Yes, he didn't win, but I mean, given the circumstances, no Christian McCaffrey, first-time quarterback with the Panthers, first-time head coach in this league, coming up from the college system. I thought it was a decent year. You didn't have to go out there and be Super Bowl champions or NFC champions. Year 1. You had a natural progression to build upon that, but he went with Sam Darnold over Teddy Bridgewater. That made no sense to us. So that's kind of why I want this Panthers team to be bad. So let's go to the Jets right here. And is it their week 1 opponent? This would be crazy. Yeah, they got the Panthers in Carolina, though. That I wish it was in MetLife Stadium, unfortunately. But it is in Carolina. Jeez. Wow. Alrighty. Wilson won't have to worry about the home crowd booing him either. He makes his NFL debut on the road at Carolina. Well, I guess we should have just read the rest of the article before we spent 30 seconds figuring it out. So that's our kind of first look at Zach Wilson, folks. Nothing great. Surely nothing great, but at the same time, no real 100% cause for concern. We'll mark our cause for concern at we'll give it about 60%, midway, a little bit more than halfway, at the 50% mark, just because we have been hearing and seeing great things for the other rookies. So it's not out of the realm of no rookies are doing good at the current moment, so we shouldn't expect Zach Wilson to kind of be the outlier. Well, we have been seeing it, and it's the later first-round draft picks. So, not great for Zach Wilson here, folks. But we'll see what he can do in the first preseason game. See if he turns it around any. Alrighty, here we go. Let's continue on here. And this is the first time we've heard praise from Andy Dalton, which throws a little bit of a wrench in our bet of Justin Fields being the week 1 starter. Got some great value on that at plus 400. We think that's fantastic. But here we go. Bears wide receiver Allen Robinson said of Andy Dalton, quote, "He's throwing us open, and things like that will allow for a lot of big plays this season as we're able to see things and adapt to different defenses. He's been able to put the ball in the window to pretty much just make the defensive back run." So this is great news for the Bears. Obviously having competent, good quarterbacks, number 1 and number 2. For the last 2 years, they've been rocking with Mitch Trubisky. That wasn't even a good number 1 quarterback. And then they bring in Nick Foles, and he wasn't even a good number 2 quarterback. So now they've got 2 good quarterbacks on this roster. And we'll see if Andy Dalton, how long he can keep that starter status. We don't think it's going to be by week 1. We think Justin Fields is going to be the week 1 starter. But, this is a good quote here because Allen Robinson is their best player. So if Allen Robinson is liking Andy Dalton and, they're connecting and hooking up and they're both looking good, that's going to probably keep Andy Dalton the starter for a couple of weeks potentially. And we know Matt Nagy has a plan for Justin Fields, so we'll see how long that plan is, and hopefully it's sooner rather than later so we can make a little bit of money on that. But Andy Dalton's still looking good out there for the Bears, and we'll see how long he can keep that up. Alrighty, now let's talk about Michael Thomas because we know that he is going to be out for the first couple weeks of this season. Never great, especially when you don't have Drew Brees anymore and you're kind of making these two quarterbacks try and get and play at that high level that Drew Brees plays at, and not having your A1 tier 1 wide receiver on the team for the first 6 weeks, never really a great sign here. So we're getting a little bit more information on truly what was going on here with Michael Thomas and the Saints, because we know Michael Thomas had just had surgery, and we heard from Sean Payton. He was like, yeah, it should have been done earlier, and that was really all I'm going to say about it. So now we get this. Saints Michael Thomas ignored calls from coaches for 3 months during his off-season rehab. Thomas wanted a second opinion from another doctor to decide how to best deal with his rehab and surgery. Now, hindsight is obviously 2020, but if he had that surgery 3 months ago, he would have been, ready to rock by week 1. But him trying to go out and find a second opinion just wasted all that time, and now he's not ready for week 1. So truly not great here. And this could really just sour the relationship between Mike Thomas and the Saints. I don't know how much soured it is right now. I'm assuming it's pretty big sour because Sean Payton is unhappy. And if you ignore a franchise for 3 months, that's never going to be great. So this could be dangerous for Michael Thomas, and he may not be a Saint for that much longer, especially if the Saints just absolutely big flounder here, and let's say they go 0-6 with Michael Thomas out. That's just gonna make Sean Payton and just this Saints team just overall resent Michael Thomas a little bit more, because they're like, man, oh man, we just lost 6 games because you weren't out there. What if all these losses are like 1, 2, 3 point losses, very, very close losses, because they would have won all those games if they just had that A1 tier 1 mega wide receiver and Michael Thomas out there to get him those extra 1, 2, 3 points to secure the victory. So this could be the beginning of a truly sour relationship, and we'll see if Mike Thomas ever hits kind of the trade market anytime this season. If the Saints just kind of like, all right, we're kind of going to start rebuilding, not a full-scale rebuild, but a little bit of, all right, we lost Drew Brees, let's get rid of Michael Thomas, that era's over, we'll still have Alvin Kamara, we're really going to build off of Alvin Kamara, but these other wide receivers, maybe even a quarterback, if they're not really playing up to this standard, we're just going to have a little bit of a soft rebuild here for the Saints. So we'll see, man. Like we said, only time will tell on how rocky this relationship can be, but if they start losing because no Michael Thomas, the relationship is going to be kind of facing a lot of adversity. But if they keep winning, let's say they go 5-1, 6-0, even 4-2, I would count 4-2 as success, even kind of 3-3. Honestly, without Michael Thomas is a decent success, and that will definitely help the relationship. And then once Michael Thomas gets there, they start winning games. This could really all be swept under the rug. So it's really going to depend on the start of the season for the Saints of how much they truly will resent Michael Thomas, and not just Sean Payton, but maybe even the guys up front, the linemen. Hey man, you could have been helping us out here, but now you're not here and we're losing games. We put in the work, and you're not you not answering the phone calls from the coaches early in the offseason. Yeah, that affects us too. And maybe even Jameis Winston and Taysom Hill, they're like, man, oh man, Jameis Winston without Michael Thomas, Jameis Winston is like, this is my chance to revitalize my career. Now you're not out here and you're affecting me, man. And Taysom Hill's like, this is my first time starting, and I wanted this great wide receiver out there to help me grow and help me put out some great plays out on tape so I can get that big contract, because I don't have a good contract right now. Michael Thomas got a big old contract. Jameis Winston doesn't, and they're dependent on Michael Thomas. Taysom Hill doesn't, and he's dependent on Michael Thomas. So it's not just Michael Thomas's own actions hurting himself. It's kind of the team overall. This is a team game. Football is a big team game. Two sides of the football, 53 players, an abundance of coaches, all fighting for the same goal. This is not basketball where LeBron James can just take over, where Steph Curry can just take over, where Giannis, let's give him some respect. No, he just won the finals, won finals MVP. Let's give him some respect. Giannis can single-handedly take over a game. You need everybody out here for football. So we'll see how this relationship with the Saints and Michael Thomas goes. Y'all better start winning real early. The Saints better start winning real early on, folks, and we don't have that. We just talked about the Saints in our team refresher, and we got them going 6-11. This is not going to be a great year for the Saints. Real tough opponents, and they're not with Michael Thomas for the first couple of weeks. Not great. All right, let's move on here. We're talking about some rookie quarterbacks right here. Let's watch this ball, folks. Trey Lance to Brandon Ayuk. First of all, look at this fucking ball, folks. This is absolutely fantastic. Look at this ball. I mean, we're talking about, oh my God, let's see. Let's see where this ball lands. Where are we at? The 5? Oh my God. Is this a 45-yard pass? I think he's at the 50, folks. Oh my God. Absolutely beautifully right on the mother-loving money. Good separation here. About a half a step, but it's not, a full step, 2 full steps. This is solid separation in the NFL. This is actually real good. This is still wide. This is kind of technically wide open in the NFL, honestly. And he puts it absolutely right on the money. Holy moly. I think he threw this one from the right hash, too. Did he throw this from the right hash? Yo, folks, this pass is truly impressive. This is what we're talking about. Trey Lance is getting it done. I don't think Zach Wilson is making this throw, folks. I don't think he's making this. So, just Trey Lance is truly getting it done out here. We just heard yesterday from Kyle Shanahan that Trey Lance will play in some capacity. We don't know if he's going to be starting anytime soon, but situational gadget plays, expect Trey Lance to be out there. He's got some good running ability, but this passing ability as well, folks. Folks, I can't get over this play right here. This is an absolutely 100% beautiful perfection ball from the rookie. Give the man some credit. So, Jimmy Garoppolo, you better hope you gosh dang stay healthy because this is waiting in the wings. And if I'm Kyle Shanahan, I am drooling over this. I am just waiting for Jimmy Garoppolo to make one mistake. And I'm like, all right, it's enough. I've seen enough. Trey Lance, go out there. So, we're loving what we're seeing by Trey Lance and hearing from Trey Lance. Comparing it to everything that we've been seeing and hearing from Zach Wilson, it's night and day. Trey Lance is up here, and Zach Wilson is still a little bit down here. So, man, oh man, folks. Trey Lance, I think the man's got it. I think the kid's truly got it, but we'll see. Obviously, these are practices and, one-on-one coverages and, no pressure from the defensive line attacking him. So, we'll see if he can do it in preseason and in regular season games, but so far, we're loving what we're seeing from Trey Lance, truly. Alrighty, Rams and the Cowboys had a joint practice yesterday, and we got some decent things to talk about. So let's talk about this one first. Here we go, Cowboys and Rams. So they got into a little bit of a scuffle yesterday. We got a little bit of a better angle here. Aaron Donald, defensive end for the Rams, and Connor Williams, offensive lineman for the Cowboys, going at it in drills right here. Obviously, when you have a chance and opportunity to match up against one of the best edge rushers in the game of Aaron Donald, you're going to kind of weigh this heavily because if you can guard Aaron Donald and block Aaron Donald, you can block anybody else in this league. So Connor Williams and Aaron Donald kind of matching up here. And Connor Williams holds his own against Aaron Donald absolutely beautifully. And Aaron Donald didn't really like that, and it got a little physical after the play because Aaron Donald isn't used to being locked up. And they got into a little bit of a tussle right here. Aaron Donald throwing him to the ground, and then all hell breaks loose, and it's a big pile. So that was a little bit of a scuffle. Obviously, it's football. It's high intensity. I mean, folks, these are grown men being pit against other grown men to physically imply their will. I'm blanking on that middle word. Physically impose their will against the other grown man, 25, 30-year-old grown men out here. So, yeah, you're going to kind of take offense. Hey, Aaron Donald's like, this man thinks he can lock me up, and maybe there was a little bit of jawing back and forth because if I'm Connor Williams and I just locked up Aaron Donald for a play, I'm like, This is the great Aaron Donald I've been hearing of, the myth Aaron Donald I've been hearing of. I mean, isn't Aaron Donald like the back-to-back-to-back defensive player of the year or something like that? It's just like, I lock this man up. I got some choice words to say by this man, to this man. So, a little bit of a pile there. Nothing too serious. No injuries. No kind of, hey, you're out of here. No ejections, anything like that. Just, it boils over a little bit. Just like the Giants practice the other day. Boils over a little bit. Offense going against defense. Once again, offense going against defense. Offensive lineman locking up the edge rusher. And, tensions boil over a little bit. No worries. Nothing big. So that was the first kind of thing to note. But then we get this. This is Tanner Fire. What does he got? This man is nothing. He's not even verified. Pro Football Source and Insider, he says. Reporter for Fantasy Football Counselor. Partner in analysis for NFL Rums. Okay. NFC North Informant. So this is what this man had to say about the joint practice. We got to go back. So he said that Ceedee Lamb got the best of Jalen Ramsey today. And folks, Ceedee Lamb is going to be Ceedee Lamb will be the best wide receiver in the NFL, and he's going to make that known this year, folks. I mean, what we've been seeing from this man, we've been seeing great highlights and highlights after highlights. Folks, he's the most highlighted player that we have seen in training camp. There's nobody else that's matching the level and kind of the numerous highlight clips that we have seen make absolutely great plays in practice. So we're expecting big things from Ceedee Lamb this season. He's going to be the number 2 wide receiver on the team. So once again, that's just going to open him up even that much more. He's going to have Dak Prescott out there hopefully for the full season. Let's knock on wood on that. Hopefully nothing happens there. So I truly believe Ceedee Lamb is going to kind of make himself the number 1 wide receiver this season. I think he's going to have a breakout year, absolutely. So let's just quickly, I want to go into this a little bit. Do I have Ceedee Lamb's, I thought I had stats up. Here we go. Ceedee Lamb, I kind of want to take a quick look here because we see last season, he caught for 935 yards. That's his rookie year, folks. He's going into his second year. It's absolutely fantastic. He had 66 catch percentage, which is still real solid for rookie year. We love that. We just saw Justin Jefferson hit 70%, and that really kind of blew us away. But 66% catch percentage is still really solid out here. But I want to see, because we saw Dak Prescott go down, so I want to see, did that hurt Ceedee Lamb a little bit because he was catching balls from Andy Dalton? So I want to go into his game logs here and compare his stats to the games that Dak Prescott was playing compared to the games that Andy Dalton was playing, and just see if there's any drop-off between the two quarterbacks, because that's going to help us really kind of assess what we can truly expect out here with Ceedee Lamb going into year number 2. So let's get up Dak Prescott's career stats as well, so we can just see what games he missed last season, so we can see which games were a difference maker for Ceedee Lamb. Did he have, like, every game with Dak Prescott, was he catching 100 yards every single game? And then with Andy Dalton, it was like 50, 60, something like that. Let's look at the catch percentage too as well, compared to Dak Prescott and Andy Dalton. That will give us a nice read on just Andy Dalton as well. Was he doing the same thing? Maybe we're bashing Andy Dalton a little bit too much. And then let's see how we can kind of extrapolate. Maybe Ceedee Lamb could have had 1,000-yard, 1,200, 1,500-yard season if Dak Prescott played the entire season. We also have to keep in mind that Ceedee Lamb only played in 16 games, he started 14 games. He did play in all 16, but he only started 14 games. So once again, hurting his kind of 1,000-yard rookie year mark. So let's quickly go over this. Let's get Dak Prescott's stats up quickly, go to his game logs, and see which games he's missed. Here we go. Alrighty, so he only started 5 games. Yeah, I forgot. He went down early. I always forget, well, not really forget, but just kind of with Joe Burrow's injury, he got injured real late in the season, where Dak Prescott got injured real early in the season. So really kind of two different scenarios right there. But let's see what Ceedee Lamb was looking like in the first 5 weeks of the season. All right, here we go. Ceedee Lamb, first 5 weeks. Here we go. Game number 1 for 59 yards and 83% catch percentage. Game number 2, 106 yards and 66 catch percentage. Game number 3, 65 yards and 71 catch percentage. Game number 4, 79 yards and 71% catch percentage. And then game number 5, 124 yards and 72% catch percentage. Jeez Louise. So those are his stats. I'm going to add up these numbers really quickly. His first 5 game numbers, let's add up that quickly just so we have a nice little number to kind of work with. He did have 2 100-yard games, so that's going to be how many games, how many 100-yard games did he have with Andy Dalton? That's something that we have to look at. But let's add up all these numbers. So we got 59, we got 106, we got 65, we've got 79, and we've got 124 for a grand total of 433 yards, folks. We know his grand total is 935. So basically, half of his yards came in the first 5 weeks, folks. Half came in the first 5 weeks. 8 weeks should be the mark because 16 games, half of that is 8. So, geez Louise, Ceedee Lamb with a full year of Dak Prescott, folks. Come on. Come on. All right, let's. He also had 2 touchdowns during that 5-week stretch, which is a little light there. We'd like to see that number up a little bit, but overall, he only had 5 touchdowns the entire season. So once again, half of his overall stats came in the first 5 weeks, folks. That is truly crazy. I gotta blow my nose real quick. Excuse me. Really itchy. All right, we're good now. We're back. All right, here we go. All right, so now after week 5, when Andy Dalton comes in to take over, what is his yards looking like? All right, so week 6, 64 yards, 63% catch percentage, his lowest out there. Game number 7, he didn't even catch a ball. He was targeted 5 times, caught none. Bad passes, they only put up 3 points. We have to kind of potentially put that at Andy Dalton. Week number 8, 27 yards, 80% catch percentage, dink and dunk. Why is Andy Dalton dinking and dunking to Ceedee Lamb? This man is great. Air this man out. Week number 9, 71 yards. All right, 57% catch percentage, though. So really great yards, though. We like that. Week 10. Week 11, game 10, I'm sorry, folks. 34 yards, 66% catch percentage. Once again, nothing great. Week 12, 21 yards, 71% catch percentage. Week 13, 46 yards, 66% catch percentage. Week 14, 46 yards, 100% catch percentage, but it's only 2 passes. Week 15, 85 yards, 71% catch percentage. That's a great game, and they got the win. That's a great game right there. Week 16, 65 yards, 60% catch percentage. And then week 17, 43 yards and 71 catch percentage. But overall, folks, the man never had a 100-yard game. The man had a really kind of lackluster games. He had a 21-yard gain, a 0-yard game. How do you give this man 0 yards? Andy Dalton, what the hell are you doing? 21, 34, nothing really great, low catch percentages. So truly, we can expect Ceedee Lamb to truly have an absolutely amazing season. Full force of Dak Prescott at the position, Ceedee Lamb not having to go over this quarterback carousel, and Dak Prescott's going to be, throwing this man the ball because he's the number 2. Amari Cooper's locked up with the number 1 corner. Ceedee Lamb's on the number 2 corner, getting free. The man's great. So we can truly expect Ceedee Lamb to have a huge season, and I am going to stick by this, that Ceedee Lamb will be the number 1 wide receiver in the NFL by the time this season is done. He is going to kind of elevate himself to that number 1 receiver status. Right now, Davante Adams is the number 1 wide receiver in the kind of minds of the coaching staff in the front office. The poll that was taken in the offseason, they chose Davante Adams as the number 1 wide receiver. In our opinion, it's Tyreek Hill is the number 1 wide receiver in this league. But Ceedee Lamb, watch out for this man. He's going to claw his way up to that number 1 spot, folks. I truly believe it. Alrighty, and talking about, great wide receivers getting great highlights here, we get T. Higgins going into year number 2, our favorite 6'4 wide receiver. Well, maybe not our favorite, but he's a 6'4 wide receiver, so we absolutely love it. But here we go, T. Higgins. Look at this man mossing the corner right on him. Looking at this man go up and get the ball. Look at this man. It's 6'4. This is what I'm talking about. Joe Burrow, do you see how high Joe Burrow lofted up this ball for T. Higgins to go out and get? This is what we're talking about. With great height at the wide receiver position, it makes the job on the quarterback easier because you don't have to worry about it being picked. There's no way if you throw the ball high, it's going to get picked because corners are like 5'10 to 6'1. We got 6'4 T. Higgins. We got 6'6 Darren Waller, folks. I mean, we got 6'6 Kyle Pitts out here. We got tall wide receivers. And T. Higgins going into year 2, we can expect big things from him. So Joe Burrow just getting better. T. Higgins working on his game. Overall, this Bengals team is still a little bit of a question mark to me, but they've got the pieces to potentially go out there and start winning some games out here. Joe Burrow's just going to have to step it up. The whole offensive line and defense is going to have to step it up so they can be competitive in these games. But overall, if you got a monster athlete like T. Higgins, you got to love it. And I love this, man. The coach is like, that's my dog right there, slapping him up. You love to see that. Knowing you did absolutely something fantastic, going up and mossing, getting the ball up there, making your quarterback look good, and that is just all praise from all the coaches' staffs. You got to love that. So giving him the recognition he truly deserves. T. Higgins, man. Watch out for this man. All righty. Back to another kind of quarterback duel out here, quarterback competition. We got Gardner Minshew. He was taking the first team reps for the 7-on-7 drills. Now we have been seeing this as an open quarterback competition with the Jaguars, and we just saw Trevor Lawrence take more snaps than Gardner Minshew did the other day, but now Minshew is back taking reps with the first team. So once again, true quarterback competition out here. And then we get this by Trevor Lawrence today. A nice little clip of him throwing the ball. Real solid. You see him kind of rolling out to the right. Immediately, it's a speed out left, roll out to the right. Everybody on the line is flowing to the left. A little bit of a misdirection, and it works to perfection. Trevor Lawrence is wide open out here to the right, and then he just sets his feet and winds up for a real deep ball all the way to the left side of the field, and it's an absolute dime. So Trevor Lawrence looking real good out here early. I mean, folks, he's going to throw this from the 15-yard line and get it all the way down to the, I want to say 40, so real solid right there, but just all the way, he's on the right hash, throwing it all the way back to the left hash, and he just puts it right on the money, folks. I mean, no chance at a pick. The receiver has to go out and kind of extend for it a little bit, but I mean, this is just great ball placement. No chance at a pick, no chance at a pass breakup. It's only maybe potentially false incomplete. But I mean, this is still a real great throw, and it's the receiver going out and getting it and completing for a nice like 20-yard gain right there. So Trevor Lawrence looking real good out here, and you like to see that. Like to see this man progressing and making it hard on Urban Meyer to truly make a starting quarterback designation on either Gardner Minshew or Trevor Lawrence. So they're both all looking good out here, and Trevor Lawrence with some great accuracy. Man, folks, truly apologies if you're watching. I am I've been scratching my nose the entire show, folks. I apologize. I mean, I don't know what the hell is going on. It's just itching as heck. So I apologize on that. But what are you going to do? It's live. It's human nature. I don't know what y'all want me to do. So, all right. Maybe good now. Maybe. We'll see. All right. Last story to go over. We got another top 5 takeaways from Albert Breer. This time on the Chargers. So this man kind of goes to training camp, spends a day with the team, and just writes down what he's seeing out there. So let's see what he's saying about this Chargers team. Let's see if we get any kind of updates on Justin Herbert, because we haven't really seen any really film of him in training camp as well, and he just had an absolutely amazing season, and we kind of highly regard Justin Herbert as a great passer. So we really want to see what he's going to do this season. We have him listed as the number 2 quarterback in the NFL right now, so that's kind of big. That's a high regard of this man. So we don't want to look like clowns. So we hope he doesn't take a step back this year. But here we go. Top 5 takeaways. Takeaway number 1. New staff knew what kind of player Derwin James was. They now know the leader he is. His energy, communication, etc., etc. He'll wear the green dot for Stanley's defense. All right, so Derwin James going to be the defensive captain out there calling the plays. All righty. Takeaway number 2, Nasir Adderley's cover skills have shown up. Coaches are excited about his fit. So if this Chargers defense could be great, let's get up this Chargers depth chart real quick. If this Chargers defense could be great, I mean, you just need Justin Herbert to, get it done offensively, and this Chargers team can, be a huge force in the AFC. This Chargers team has just been a little bit of a lackluster, I think, for the last 2 years. Let's get up their history as well. Obviously, we know the very, very close losses over the last 2 seasons, really kind of the reason why they made the switch off of their head coach, Anthony Lynn, unfortunately. So if this defense could be locked down, if they can start winning all these close games, I mean, this Chargers team could, make themselves known, with the Chiefs, with the Ravens, with the Bills in the AFC to really be just absolutely great and be competing for the AFC Championship and, their right to win and go to the Super Bowl. So this Chargers team is truly on the door of greatness. The last 2 seasons, finishing 7-9 and 5-11. So they really need to kind of get back to what they've been doing with Phillip Rivers, getting, decent records, getting, it's not even, they weren't even really that great. They had a good 4-year stretch from 2006 to 2009. Lost in the divisional round, lost in the conference finals, lost in the divisional, lost in the divisional. So they want to get back to that kind of great 4-year stretch going 14-2, 11-5, 8-8, and 13-3 from 2006 to 2009. The last 2 years really losing all the games closely. All right, this Chargers defense, what do we got? We got Joey Bosa, obviously very, 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 very good edge rusher. We got, what do we got? What are these linebackers? Uchenna Uwosu. How many sacks did he have last year? This man good? 4.5. Respectable. That's respectable. They got Kaiser White. What is this man doing at the right side linebacker? Only half a sack. Okay. And then we got Kenneth Murray, left side inside linebacker. 1 sack. Okay. So their linebackers need a little bit of work, but I mean they've got some solid defensive backs. They got Michael Davis and Chris Harris Jr. as their corners. They also drafted Asante Samuel Jr., and I think that man's going to be good. I want to see this man kind of start at some point this season. And then what Albert Breer just said, Nasir Adderley, their free safety, his cover skills are showing up, and coaches are excited about his fit. So if this man can kind of turn into a roaming free safety out there, like a Tyrann Mathieu, like a Jamal Adams, and just kind of be all over the field at all times, I think that really helps and boosts this defense overall. So overall, if this Chargers defense can get it going, this is a solid team. Close out the games, win those close games like they've been losing the last 2 years. This could be a good Chargers team, folks. Real dangerous. Takeaway number 3, rookie wide receiver Josh Palmer has an NFL body already, and in Joe Lombardi's Saints-centric scheme, he'd fit in a Michael Thomas type role, and we know Michael Thomas is at the top of his game. A lot of people clown him for, Michael Thomas only runs slants, but hey, it still gets the job done. So hey, you can knock the game, but he's still getting his, so you got to respect it. Takeaway number 4, Chargers did a lot to fix the offensive line, but the Matt Filer signing flew under the radar. Looks like he'll be a key piece in the renovation of the line. So once again, offensive line getting better, protecting Justin Herbert even more, making Austin Eckler be a great running back. We believe in Austin Eckler, folks. He had 530 yards last season, but he's also good in the pass and run game. We can count on him. So overall, the line's getting better. The defense is kind of shoring up a little bit. And now we're talking about a great team, folks. Be big on this Chargers team. And then takeaway number 5 already. Had one person say to me out there Friday that Joey Bosa, quote, would have wrecked practice today if it would have been live. So Bosa's where he needs to be, and Rashawn Slater's gone against him a lot, which should help him assimilate to the NFL. Chargers are counting on the young left tackle, and that's exactly what we've been seeing, folks. We just talked about it. The Rams and the Cowboys had joint practice today. That lineman going against Aaron Donald and holding his own, just kind of getting that valuable rep. Going against the best of the best is definitely going to make you better in yourself. How do I stop the best of the best? Because if I can stop the best at that position, then I'll be good for, the number 10th at that position, the number 30th at that position, the 32nd at that position, the second string. I'll be able to lock him up no problem. So going against Joey Bosa, shoring up that offensive line, Chargers, folks, potential real dark horses. If Justin Herbert doesn't take a step back, and we don't think he does, they start winning the close games. The head coach here for the Chargers, the new head coach here for the Chargers, closing out the close games. We're talking about an 11, 12, 13 win team, folks, truly. So if they have a favorable schedule, watch out for this Chargers team, truly. So those are Albert Breer's top 5 takeaways from Chargers training camp. Looking real solid. Alrighty, let's head over and do our NFL team refresher, folks. We've done a couple of teams already. Let's quickly remind y'all. We're doing a working list, just kind of putting them in order on when we do them. So out of the first 7 teams so far, Lions going 2-15, max 5 wins. Saints going 6-11. Broncos going 10-7, or we can see 11-6. Falcons going 11-6. Washington going 9-7. Their ceiling is 13-4. They do have a high ceiling. Titans going 11-6, and the Raiders going 10-7. So we spin the wheel, do a random team, talk them through what they did last season, what they did in this offseason, who do they draft, who do they get, who do they lose, and then we talk about their schedule and see how many wins we can give them. So let's get the wheel up here, spin the wheel, and let's see what team we're talking about today. So here we go. All right, and that was a bad spin. Oh my God, I'm not spinning it good. Here we go. Wheel is spun, wheel is spinning, wheel is slowing down, and the team in our refresher today is going to be, the New England Patriots, folks. Alrighty. Well, to start with the Patriots, we do have a little bit of a quarterback competition underway, folks. Cam Newton or Mac Jones. Cam Newton, obviously been in this league a long time, or Mac Jones, the newly acquired rookie. All right, so let's investigate who their starting quarterback is probably going to be, or who do we like, who do we don't like, what do we like, what do we don't like. So let's quickly go over Cam Newton, because we are not the biggest fans of this man. We were rooting for this man last season, folks. We were big behind this man, rejuvenating your career, revitalizing your career here in New England, but he never took advantage of it, and it was truly not great. So last year, the Patriots go 7-8 with Cam Newton at the helm. Cam Newton, he had 65% completion percentage, which is real good, real solid. His second highest completion percentage of his career, which we can always get behind. But it only came with 2,600 passing yards. We know he's a little bit of a better dual threat quarterback. And, you know, I say this, I just said this the other day and I liked it, so I'm going to say it again here. Everybody disrespecting Lamar Jackson, saying, oh, he's a running back, he's not a quarterback. Cam Newton is not a quarterback. That man's a running back. The man only threw for 4,000 yards once in his career, folks, and was for 4,051 yards, so it's not even that impressive. So Cam Newton's not a quarterback. You want to call any quarterback a running back, call Cam Newton a running back, because this man is truly not that great. His overall completion percentage is 60%, folks. He's thrown 50% in the 50s, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times out of his 10-year career. So this man is nothing that great of a passer out there. Last season only threw for 8 passing touchdowns and 10 interceptions, folks. Let's talk about his rushing yards, because it makes it a little bit better, but overall it's like at the end of the day, it proves that you can't just be a running quarterback in this league. It's been proven you don't win like that. You do need a solid passing game, and I don't think Cam Newton has that left in him, unfortunately. So Cam Newton rushing last season, 592 yards. He did have 12 rushing touchdowns. But overall, I mean, we're talking about like 3,000 yards of production. How many fumbles did he have? He had 6 fumbles as well. So about 16 turnovers. Once again, unfortunate with 22 touchdowns in total. It's like, what do we do? We can't truly get behind this man, folks. I'm not getting behind Cam Newton again. I don't think he's got the goods. Now, you could say, well, you know, it was his first year with the Patriots and they had no weapons. They truly didn't have any weapons. But still, at the end of the day, we can't use that as the end-all, be-all excuse. You still need to go out there and get it done, even if you don't have everything kind of going great with you. Because we know what this Patriots team is all about. It's all about scheme, and they, you know, are not going to tailor to your kind of needs or standards. They're not, you know, they didn't do it with Tom Brady. They didn't do it with anybody, so they're not going to do it with Cam Newton. They just need Cam Newton to get it done. So, not the greatest here by Cam Newton. Now, when we go to kind of Mac Jones, I mean, we don't like Mac Jones either, because obviously he's a rookie. We're not going to get big on that rookie so far. And we can go up to his career stats. He only started 1 year in college, folks. And that Alabama roster was absolutely loaded. Jalen Waddle, Najee Harris, and Devontae Smith. All 3 great wide receivers and just kind of overall offensive legends. They're literally legends in Alabama already, folks. So Mac Jones getting his kind of first start in 2020, he threw for 77% completion percentage, which is great, 4,500 yards, which is great, 41 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. I mean, folks, all these stats are great, don't get me wrong, but they were in college in an absolutely offensive stacked system at Alabama. So I don't know how much actually Mac Jones was being good or just kind of all that talent making him look good, because when we watched this man in our draft preview of Mac Jones, when we did that, we weren't really impressed with him. We ranked Mac Jones on our big board the 4th best quarterback in the draft. We did have Trey Lance under Mac Jones just because we didn't like that Trey Lance was in the CS. It wasn't really anything that great. Yeah, not the biggest believer in Mac Jones. And we'll see if he can kind of potentially beat out Cam Newton. It does seem like we heard Bill Belichick say that Cam is the starter, but we have been hearing some good things about Mac Jones in training camp. A little bit of good things. But the fact that it's even a discussion proves that Cam Newton is truly not going out there and winning the starting job by himself, because he's not even taking advantage of year 2 under the same system. It doesn't seem like he's growing that much. So I think Cam Newton's going to be the starting quarterback here for the Patriots this year, but I don't believe and I can't buy into Cam Newton again. So, I'm not big into Cam Newton, folks. Now let's go to their overall depth chart. See what they're working with, because now we're talking about Cam Newton's weapons last year weren't anything great. I can say that, and that could be a reason why Cam Newton wasn't getting it done last year. But what they brought in this season, I mean, it's still tier 2 pieces all across the board at the wide receiver and tight end position. So Cam Newton, who's not a tier 1 quarterback himself, he's a tier 2-ish. I'm borderline putting this man at tier 3. I know that's disrespectful, but I'm very close to putting him tier 3. If he flounders this season, I'm going to mark him to tier 3 quarterback. But he's a tier 2 quarterback working with tier 2 weapons. I don't expect tier 2 quarterbacks to elevate tier 2 pieces. I don't see that happening. So let's bring up the Patriots depth chart. Remind all of us about the additions that they brought in this year. They got Nelson Aguilar. Once again, this is a tier 2 piece. He caught for 1,000 yards, 896 last year, 8 touchdowns. Tier 2, though, we got Jacoby Myers. Once again, a tier 2 wide receiver here. What did he have last season? 729 yards. And then Kendrick Bourne. Once again, tier 2, 600 yards last season, 2 touchdowns. At the tight end position, Hunter Henry. Once again, tier 2 tight end, 613 yards. That's real solid. Maybe he could become a tier 1. Jonnu Smith, tier 2. I don't even think he caught 448 yards, 8 touchdowns. So once again, solid pieces. Don't get us wrong. And, being tier 2 is still fine. It's not a big dig if I call you tier 2, but you're not the tier 1. You're not a Devontae Adams. You're not a DeAndre Hopkins. You're not a Tyreek Hill. You're not a Darren Waller at the tight end position. You're not a Travis Kelce at the tight end position. You're not the George Kittle. So you're not the tier 1s. Tier 2, still good. Top tier 2, mid tier 2. I call Nelson Aguilar mid tier 2. Jacoby Myers mid to low tier 2. Kendrick Bourne mid tier 2. Hunter Henry high tier 2. Jonnu Smith mid tier 2. So nothing great weapons-wise that Cam Newton can rely on. He has to go out and play higher. Cam Newton has to play higher than himself to elevate these tier 2 pieces. And I don't really see that happening. Running game. What do we got here? Damian Harris as their starting running back? I mean, nothing great. 691 yards last season, nothing that we can truly get behind. We got Sony Michel, who's once again tier 2. These are all tier 2 pieces on this roster, folks. Really, they don't have one tier 1 player here. Not one tier 1 player on the offensive side of the ball. The defensive side of the ball, they got Stephon Gilmore, Devin McCourty. I'll give them tier 1. Kyle Van Noy at the linebacker position. I wouldn't be opposed to giving him tier 1 status either. Like I said, apologies. The nose is itching, folks. If you're watching this, I'm just constantly itching my nose, and I truly apologize on that. But overall, I just can't get behind Cam Newton and just this overall lackluster offense. I don't even know, would Tom Brady make this offense work? Probably, because it's Tom Brady, but shoot, man. The fact that I'm not 100% convinced that Tom Brady can make this offense work, I'm not convinced that Cam Newton can make this team work, folks. So I'm not big on Cam Newton. let's see what else we get here with this Patriots team in the offseason, their additions, their losses, and their draft picks. So let's go over that. Here we go. New England Patriots. What do they do in the offseason? Here we go. Alrighty, so they re-signed Cam Newton. They re-signed their center, David Andrews. They re-signed their defensive lineman, Dietrich Wise Jr. They get Henry Anderson, another defensive lineman. They bring in Hunter Henrys. They get Jalen Mills. Okay, that's a solid safety. Is he starting, though? I didn't see him in the starting lineup. He is second string over Devin McCourty. So once again, that's some solid depth at the safety position. I can get behind that. Kyle Duggar, I think, was pretty solid as well. What did he do last season? Anything solid? No solid stats. But I think Kyle Duggar, another safety out here, is a real solid piece. And once again, he's a backup safety. So they got some real good depth here. J.C. Jackson, Stephon Gilmore. We know Stephon Gilmore is one of the most talented corners in the league. I'd put him in top 5. I don't think I put him in top 3, but I do put him in top 5. And then J.C. Jackson. Let's see what J.C. Jackson was doing. We've got our favorite website right here, playerprofile.com, where we can see what the corners were doing against the wide receivers on how many yards they gave up and allowed and all that. So let's see, is J.C. Jackson a good second kind of corner to have on a team? So let's bring up J.C. Jackson's kind of stats from last season. What did he do defending the best wide receivers? So here we go. J.C. Jackson against Nelson Aguilar, who's now on the team. 5 of 7 for 72 yards and a pass breakup. A little bit of a burn there. Against Sammy Watkins, 2 of 2 for 16 yards. All right, not terrible. Solid lockup. Tim Patrick, 2 of 4 for 43 yards, 3 pass breakups, and he had a pick, so not bad overall. He had 43 yards, not the best. Against Brandon Ayuk, 1 of 2 for 23 yards, a pass breakup and a pick. That's a pretty good lockup. Against Stephon Diggs, 7 of 11 for 93 yards, and he had a pass breakup and a pick. Not bad overall. Against Marquise Brown of the Ravens, 2 of 5 for 22 yards, a pass breakup and a pick. That's a fantastic day. God dang, J.C. Jackson was balling out last season. That's great. Against Will Fuller, 8 of 11 for 127 yards. That's a burn. That's a big old burn there. Against Christian Kirk, 4 of 7 for 38 yards. And that's not good about Will Fuller because Will Fuller is now on the Dolphins, and you got to face the Dolphins twice a year. So if J.C. Jackson's back on Will Fuller, he's going to get burned again. Christian Kirk, 4 of 7 for 38 yards. That's a good solid lockup. Against Josh Reynolds, 2 of 3 for 20 yards. Solid lockup. Against Mac Hollins, 2 of 4 for 20 yards, a pass breakup and a pick. Good lockup. Against Stephon Diggs, 5 of 9 for 96 yards and a pass breakup. That's a burn. So he actually did pretty solid. I can get behind some of these. Stephon Diggs, I mean, both weeks just absolutely burned him. Not great. So against like the A1 tier 1 wide receivers in this league, he's not the best. But against the, the lower tier 1s, the higher tier 2s, I think the man can lock it up. So overall, great defensive backs and great safeties, and that's really what the Patriots are really going to have to heavily rely on. And I'm glad that Kyle Van Noy is back with this team after, getting cut by the Dolphins for no reason at all. So overall, and Dante Hightower's back. I believe he opted out because of the COVID season. So overall, this defense of the Patriots should be kind of back to, the normal Patriots standard level of play because you got coached by Bill Belichick. So overall, this defense for the Patriots is really going to have to kind of be the main force, and Cam Newton and just the overall offense is going to have to be game managers. Alrighty, what else do we get here in their offseason additions? So they get James White back. They bring in Jonnu Smith. They bring in Kendrick Bourne. They bring in Kyle Van Noy. They re-sign Lawrence Guy. They bring in Matthew Judon, an edge rusher. Is he starting? Matt Judon. Yes, he is. All right. What did he do last year? How many sacks did he have last year? 6 sacks. Real solid. All right. So once you got another pass rusher, we know pass rushers win in this league. You got to have a good pass rusher to win. Nelson Aguilar. They bring in Raekwon McMillan, too. Damn, another great linebacker. Is he starting? Oh, did they already get rid? Oh, no. He's on IR. How long is Raekwon McMillan out? Did he just get injured? That's not great. He's a real solid linebacker. I can get behind a Raekwon McMillan. But yeah, I think he did just go down. Yeah, I think he's down for the season. I think I did remember reading that. I think he tore his ACL. Yeah. Oh, man, that's tough. All right. Bad there for Raekwon McMillan. Unfortunate. Torn ACL. And then they bring in a center, Ted Karras. Karras? Is he in the starting lineup? No, so they bring in a little bit of extra depth at the lineman position, at the center position. Not bad. So overall, some real solid bring-ups here, some real solid additions. We just need these kind of wide receivers to really go out and show out, and we just need Cam Newton to be solid, just a game manager. He doesn't even have to be an above-average game manager quarterback like a Ryan Tannehill, like a Baker Mayfield, like a Kirk Cousins. Just go out there and be average-ish and let the defense in the Tier 2 pieces take over. All right, who do they lose? They lost Adam Butler, a defensive lineman, Brandon Copeland, a linebacker, Demire Byrd, a wide receiver, Jason McCourty, a cornerback. But we do like we do like their kind of cornerbacks already. So Jason McCourty's not the biggest loss. They lose Tremaine Illuminator, a tackle. They lose Joe Thuney, a guard, and Rex Burkhead, a running back. So not too many big losses there. So overall, the Patriots not terrible overall in their offseason moves. Now let's see what they did in the draft. Get a refresher on what they did in the draft. We know they chose Mac Jones in the first round. And now, what does that tell us? They went and got a quarterback in the first round. They didn't really want to fill any other need besides the quarterback position with their first round pick, which was number 15, which is still a solid pick. So that tells you that Bill Belichick truly feels comfortable with all the additions that they made in the offseason, and they're not the biggest believers in Cam Newton, which is kind of our line of thinking. All right, in the second round, they went out and get a defensive tackle. Third round, they got a defensive end, Ronnie Perkins. Is he in the starting lineup? Where is he on the depth chart? Ronnie Perkins. Defensive end. Ronnie, where art thou? I'm not even seeing Ronnie Perkins on their depth chart. What the hell is up with that? Oh, here he is. All right. He's third string left side linebacker. So we'll see. All right. What else did they get in the draft? So that was their first 3-round picks, shoring up their defense and quarterback a little bit. And then, like we said, everything past the third round, you really don't expect to come out and make a year one immediate impact. Obviously, there's always exceptions to the rule, but 4th round picks, 5th round, 6th round, 7th round, it's like, all right, now we're just kind of hoping. So here we go, 4th round picks that really don't mean anything. They bring in a running back. 5th round, they get a linebacker. 6th round, 2 6th-round picks to get safety and offensive tackle. And 7th round, they go a wide receiver and Trey Nixon, a 6-foot wide receiver. So overall, they just shored up their defense and quarterback through the first 3 rounds. So first 3-round meaningful picks. Now let's see where this Patriots offensive line ranked. We like to see where the offensive line ranks, because if you don't have a good offensive line, you're not going to be a good team overall. So let's see where PFF. And like we said, we're not taking this as the gospel. We are just taking this as a good benchmark of where the line is at right now. So the final 2020 offensive line rankings, let's see where the Patriots ranked. We're scrolling. Oh, they ranked number 4. Wow. Let's see what they wrote about him. Here we go. You don't expect rookie offensive linemen to come in the NFL and play the way Michael Onwenu did for the Patriots, especially rookie guards who were selected in the 6th round and forced into a starting job at tackle. Jeez. Let's see. Is Michael Onwenu, sorry, butchering the name. Let's see. Is he still in the starting lineup here for the linemen? Yes, Mike Onwenu. Fantastic. All right. So that's going to still be carry over to this year and still be real solid. What else did we get here? That didn't stop Onwenu. Okay, Onwenu. I'll get it right here, folks. All right, that didn't stop Onwenu from sliding in as a top 10 right tackle in the NFL by PFF grade. In addition to strong play on both the left guard and right guard at various points in the season. So he's kind of, can be that kind of duct tape of the offensive line. One person goes down, you can slide him to that spot and be fine. The New England offense didn't have a whole lot of going on for it in 2020, but the offensive line in an area that they can count as a strength on that side of the football, it's a group that could be dealt a big loss in the form of Joe Thuney. However, Thuney ended the season as the 6th highest graded left tackle in the NFL, will be a free agent this offseason, and we do know that Joe Thuney is not there anymore. So that is a little bit of a loss there on the offensive line. All right, so we can expect the offensive line to be good, which it needs to be good for Cam Newton to have protection, and for Damian Harris and Sony Michel that aren't A1 Tier 1 running backs in this league to still have a solid rushing performance. All right, the last thing to read over is just another overall offseason grade, this time by Bleacher Report. We just kind of want to see what they're saying about this Patriots team in the offseason. We know they went out and got a lot of pieces. I think they spent the most money in free agency. I think they got the most players in free agency. So let's see what Bleacher Report says about this Patriots team in their offseason additions. So here we go, and just offseason moves in total. So once again, their additions: Jonnu Smith, edge rusher Matthew Judon, David Godchaux, nice defensive tackle, Jalen Mills, Hunter Henry, Kendrick Bourne, Nelson Aguilar, Ted Karras, Kyle Van Noy, Cam Newton, David Andrews, James White, Lawrence Guy, Henry Anderson, and Trent Brown. Really, I mean, a lot of positions: wide receivers, tight ends, edge rushers, offensive linemen, defensive linemen, running backs. I mean, they really just filled up every need there. And then the key drafts: quarterback Mac Jones, defensive lineman Christian Barmore, and edge rusher Ronnie Perkins. And then the key departures: offensive lineman Joe Thuney, defensive tackle Adam Butler, safety Patrick Chung. That's definitely going to hurt them a lot. Patrick Chung's been great for them. Right tackle Marcus Cannon, wide receiver Julian Edelman, and we all know that man. That's great. Great slot piece. And then edge rusher Brandon Copeland. All right, here we go. A couple of paragraphs on the Patriots. Offseason moves. The New England Patriots might have been able to do more to address the quarterback position this offseason, but that's really the only reason they didn't earn an A+ after loading up on both sides of the ball in free agency and the draft. Whether they start Newton or Jones at quarterback, they'll be in a lot better shape with Smith and Henry at tight end and Brown back at right tackle. Will they miss Thuney? Sure, but at least they re-signed Andrews and brought back Karras after a one-year stint in Miami. Ditto for Kyle Van Noy, who along with Judon, Godchaux, and Anderson should bolster a defense that was already in fine shape. Once again, yeah, exactly. The defense is really going to be the main focal point for this Patriots team. Speaking of that D, Barmore was a steal outside of round 1 and gives them yet another weapon up front and does the intriguing Perkins from round 3. It would have been nice to see them land Stafford or Darnold at quarterback. Not Darnold. Sam Darnold cannot play, folks. I don't know how many times we're going to see it this season. Sam Darnold cannot play. It's over for that man. It's truly done with that man. Like we said with Cam Newton, it's not the greatest yards, and you can make the excuse that he didn't have the right talent around him and all that, but we still need some solid production, and Cam Newton still gave us 65% completion percentage, which we truly respect, and we do like that. Sam Darnold, same thing. Trash coach it. Well, not the same thing with Patriots with the trash coaches, but he had trash coaches. Not the best support all around him like Cam Newton and the Patriots, but the man never threw 60% completion percentage in 3 years. So I can't get behind Sam Darnold. The man is not good. Matt Stafford, on the other hand, yeah, that's a great piece right there. All right, so it would have been nice to see them land Stanford or Darnold at the quarterback because Newton is done. But kudos to Bill Belichick and company for bringing in the pro-ready Jones. I don't know if he's pro-ready, especially with Tier 2 wide receivers. If they had Tier 1 pieces all around them, if they had the Bucs wide receiver core, I would say that, yeah, Mac Jones would be good in this Patriots system. But Mac Jones has not proven that he can play with non-elite great talent. It's not been shown. He had 1 year in college starting. That's it. Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle, Najee Harris, all first-round picks, high first-round picks in this year's draft. Come on, folks. He looks like a good fit, and that's the icing on the cake for a team that looks primed to contend again in 2021. I don't know if they're offensively primed to contend here. We'll see. So that is the Patriots, folks, but we still got to see what they have on their schedule. Do they have a favorable schedule? Can we get behind this team? Can we count them for 10, 12, 17 wins? What do we got? So let's bring up the Patriots schedule, and let's walk through it and see how many wins we can give them. All right, here we go. Game number 1 against the Miami Dolphins. Should be a real great one here. Great opener. We saw the Patriots beat the Dolphins in the opener last season, and I believe they were at home for that one as well. All right. This Patriots defense is good and should hurt the Dolphins. The Dolphins defense is good and should hurt the Patriots. I'm going to probably give the Patriots the split here against the Dolphins, and we'll have the Patriots win their home game. So they do win week 1 against the Dolphins. They win easy week 2 against the Jets. Zach Wilson against his Patriots defense. Good luck, Zach. Good luck. Welcome to the NFL week 2. That's another win. Then they go out and face the Saints, and I think this is a winnable game as well. They are in Foxborough at home for this game, and the Saints offense is really not going to be able to handle this Patriots defense, and the Saints defense is not that great, and the Patriots offense should be able to at least be competitive in this game, and I'm going to give them a win. Real strong start to the schedule. 3-0. Then they run into the Bucs. Cannot give them a win there. It is Sunday Night Football. Tom Brady back in Foxborough. All that nonsense, but I think Tom Brady rises to the occasion. I cannot trust Cam Newton against this Bucs defense, especially this Bucs defense that knows that Tom Brady desperately wants to win this game, and they're going to kind of step up to the plate for their man that just won them all a ring last year. Yeah, Bucs win this one. Then they go and face the Texans on the road. It doesn't matter. That's a win there. That Texans team is trash. Then they go out and face the Cowboys. I'm not going to give them a win here. I think the Cowboys offense is too much for it. The Cowboys defense probably isn't too good. They are on the road there. That is a probably silver lining for this Patriots team, but I am going to give the Cowboys a win. They'll win. And then they go and face the Jets again. They do sweep the Jets. They go and face the Chargers. This is going to be a real solid, good game right here. I don't know how I want to call this one. I think I'm going to give it to the Chargers. I think the Chargers at home should be real fine, and this offense really should be rolling. Defense is real solid as well. So I'm going to give the Chargers a win there. Then they go and face the Panthers in Carolina. That's a win. I don't like anything on this offensive piece for the Panthers besides Christian McCaffrey, and the defense is just mediocre. It's like lost in the shuffle. So give them a win against the Panthers. Against the Browns, I'm not going to give them a win there. I think this Browns team is really going to be real solid this season. Then they go and face the Falcons on the road. This one's a Thursday night game. This one's going to be interesting. I'm going to give it to... I'm going to give the Patriots a nice upset here on Thursday Night Football. We're not the biggest fans of this Falcons team overall. The defense is the biggest question mark here. I don't know how they're going to do with that, so I'll give the Falcons a win there. Against the Titans, I can't give them a win there. Against the Bills, I can't even let them split against the Bills, folks. I'm not even going to have them split. I'm going to have the Bills win both games here. Then they go and face the Colts in Indianapolis. I can't give them a win there. They face the Bills again. Can't give them a win there. Like I said, I'm not even going to give them the split. Then they go and face the Jaguars. I will give them a win against the Jaguars. And then they face the Dolphins at the end of the season in Miami. Not going to give them a win there because we're giving them the split, and they already won their home game. So we got 8-9 here with this Patriots team. But the good thing is that this is a winnable, workable schedule. There's really no real blowout potential games. The Tampa Bay Bucs is really the only blowout potential game. The Bills, it's division rivalry, so they should be able to contend well and maybe steal a game. Folks, these are winnable games. Every one of these is winnable. Dolphins twice, Jets twice. Those are, the Jets, that's a sweep. But the Dolphins, the Dolphins are solid, and we do like the Dolphins. And the Dolphins, we expect Tua to take that year 2 leap and look real solid, especially with the new offensive pieces that he has. And the Dolphins defense should be able to hold its own throughout the entire season. But still winnable games for the Patriots. Bills, I don't really see winnable games. That's going to be real tough for them. But Saints, Texans, Cowboys, Chargers, Panthers, Browns, Falcons, Titans, Colts, Jags, all real easy winnable games. So we'll have them at a highly regarded 8-9. Patriots going 8-9. Let me make sure I did that right. 8-9. We had them winning 3 straight there to open up the season. They beat the Texans. They beat the Jets again. They beat the Panthers. They beat the Falcons. And they beat the Jags. That's 8 wins. All right. Yeah, 8-9. Okay. So 8-9. Can see 10 plus. Okay. Now, where do we kind of fit this Patriots team into what all these other teams that we've already looked at for? And I think I'm going to put them slightly under the Falcons. We'll have them above the Broncos and above the Saints and above the Lions. But I'm going to have the Falcons above them just because I do believe this Falcons team has an upside. They do have the quarterback right. The Washington football team has a very high winnable ceiling if Ryan Fitzpatrick is kind of not just slinging the ball around and is being like an actual smart quarterback and not turning the ball over. The Titans, they got Derrick Henry and Julio Jones and Ryan Tannehill, an amazing offense. So they just don't have the offensive coordinator anymore. And then the Raiders, I mean, they just have the pieces everywhere. They've got the pieces everywhere offensively, defensively, a little bit of a question mark as well. But overall, I just can't get behind Cam Newton that well. So we're going to move the Patriots down a little bit. We have them at 8-9. Can see 10-plus wins, but winnable schedule, so that's all you can ask for your favorite team heading into the season, but just can't buy into Cam Newton. That's really the only thing that's holding us back on this Patriots team, Cam Newton. Alrighty, so that is our NFL team refresher for today, folks. Patriots, 8-9. We'll see what the wheel has in store for us tomorrow when we run it back and see and refresh on another team. Alrighty, folks, that's going to do it for us today. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. I will be itching my nose. I cannot wait. As soon as I go offline, I am going to be freaking itching this thing fantastically, and I can't wait. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Hopefully there's nothing breaking so I can get out here and itch this nose, folks. What do we got? Anything breaking? Nothing breaking. Fantastic. All right, we are going to be out of here. Panthers. I thought it was Patriots. All right. Yeah, we're going to be out of here, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And we are back live tomorrow, noon Eastern, like we always are. And we're going to do it again, folks. All righty, folks.